A warm welcome to all of you. I'm Taigu, and unusually so, it is dark outside. Today I wanted to share with you a delightful little jewel. It is a simple poem written by Dogen and translated by Kazuaki Tanahashi. This poem is basically about true action, true doing. Let's just make it ring. Water birds, going and coming. Water birds, going and coming. Their traces disappear, but they never forget their path. Now, of course, Zen poetry is often filled with pictures taken out of nature, of the observation of nature. One can easily imagine that in old China or in old Japan, wandering monks, walking through valleys, going through mountains, had a lot of time to observe natural phenomena. Water, birds, clouds, rocks. They all offer a great inspiration, a body of metaphors, but as well a real body for our body, their bodies. You see, again, in my education, I was told that one has to have a very clear intention before doing, putting a lot of energy in the doing, and aim at the realization of something. What I learned about this tradition I'm practicing and sharing with you, Zen tradition, is not exactly that. It is true that I might be invited to cultivate a direction. I wouldn't call it intentional. It doesn't sound right to my ears and to my heart. Rather, it is a way to look, a gaze upon or on something distant, but without the willing to trap it, get it, reach it. And then you release the action, or I should say, you allow the action to release itself. And once it's over, you leave. You don't hang around watching, is that right? Have I done right? Is it good? Am I good? I'm super good. Or, it's terrible. You know, this game of appreciation or depreciation, of praise, of criticism. We just do what needs to be done, and then we leave and move on. This is a big, big secret. Not to leave traces. Shunryu Suzuki speaks about giving yourself fully to the action. So there's no traces left of yourself. You disappear into the act of doing. Because the act of doing is just what is. The essence and the manifestation are one. Nobody left. No traces. If you need to help somebody in despair, if you need to take somebody out of a difficult situation, you just do it. You're not watching yourself doing it. And you're not just congratulating yourself after having done it. It's just something that springs out of you and leave you dead behind or alive inside, but the doing. There's no separation. So the path, the gaze that takes you forward doesn't mean the attachment, the looking back, the checking, is sort of behavior filled with anxiety, worries. Am I doing right? Is that okay? Have I done good? Or praise? You know the story. So that fluid changing, moment to moment, is the way. The way of wild birds, of water birds. No traces. And yet, it is. So, what does it mean with our practice? You may sit in the morning, you may sit in the evening, you may sit both, and be fortunate enough to be able to sit in between. As you go into life, this practice of sitting shall automatically, naturally radiate. And you don't need to take it with you in a way consciously, I am a sitter and I'm just going to put it into practice. You don't need to play the game of let's make it real. Just be natural. When you finish sitting, finish sitting. Go through the door. But meet the door really, and then leave the door. And look around you, but really look around you. And then cross the street and leave the street. Your day will be no trace, true presence, meeting and leaving every time, every time. And have no worry. This practice of yours will naturally shine through. This is what will make the sound of the traffic your sutra. This will make the sound of the coffee machine, the sound of the Hoover, the sound of the train, the engine, your living sutra. Allow the practice to do its job. Don't force it. Practice works without you when you're not there. So the practice of Mushotoku, which is without object, without agenda, without particular aim, is really central. This was the teaching of Taizen Deshimaru. that I was exposed to in my early days of sitting, around 75, 77. So, meeting this is important. Meeting this possibility of having no will of doing, but doing, and then leaving. It's completely open. I think it's a wonderful way to live. And it's a wonderful way not to carry all these burdens we do carry all the time. I've been recently, because of my partner's illness and sickness, I've been recently exposed to that challenge. How to have a warm and caring presence for somebody without being burdened with the worries, the thoughts, the drama, and all that sort of thing. Very tricky, very good practice. And I tell you, very humbling, because, well, I was not always that free. And again, okay, leave it, move on. Water birds, going and coming. Their traces disappear, but they never forget their path. So to all the water birds, here, there, up, down, south, north, west, east, safe journey. Have a great day. Take care of yourself.